another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, which will be available on podcast outlets everywhere you get your podcasts for your Monday morning drive. The Pop Culture Cosmos answers the question that I know a lot of gamers would like to hear. What has gone wrong with Xbox and can it be fixed? We go into detail about what went wrong, where it went wrong, and are there things in place that will allow Xbox to once again find some type of success moving forward in the gaming industry. We talk all about that and more on the latest Pop Culture Cosmos coming right at you on the Pop Culture Cosmos tomorrow morning for your listening pleasure and to all the radio stations that cover the Pop Culture Cosmos as well. Also as well, want to give a big shout out to the guys on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Big shout out to DivX Ray and Tough So, and in the first half, the Magic Man, Sean Grice. They were the guys holding down the fort while I was taking care of some other stuff, trying to go ahead and set up the Cosmos, trying to go ahead and set up for the post game, and also set up for a NBA Observations with Caleb Ponce. I'm trying to schedule that as well. So they were gracious enough to go ahead and head up the full room at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, plus the simulcast on YouTube as well. So go ahead and make sure you catch that tomorrow. But big shout out to both Tough and Div for being great part of what we're doing right there on Playback. Exactly, Logan. I mentioned it in Playback. 1 of 11 from 3, and they got the job still done. Great to see. Great to see indeed. Plus also as well, of course, you know, right behind me, that sweet Luka, who didn't shoot great, but still triple-double for him. Right behind me, right there. Canvas art right there. You got Kobe canvas art right there. And you've got this right here. What is in common with all these three things? They're made by my good friend, of course, at Drip Show Shop. The Drip Show man himself. Go ahead and support him today. It is now November, guys. It is that time of the year you need to think about getting and receiving really cool gifts for this holiday season. And in doing so, you need to go ahead and get something different. And if you got a sports fan in your life or a pop culture fan, just imagine K-pop Demon Hunter canvas art. Just imagine. If you've got a young lady that's a Taylor Swiftie, get a Taylor Swift pillow or hat or shirt right there, custom made. You don't have to go to the tour for Taylor Swift and spend like a $70 or $80 t-shirt, because those things, I went to a K-pop concert last year with my daughter. $50 t-shirts. I said, who in the hell? What a ripoff. I went to the Raiders game today. $50 t-shirts. What the hell? What the hell? So instead, put it towards a good man by going and asking for, if you want a custom t-shirt made, go ahead to @DripShowShop on Instagram and Twitter. Message him. Say, Drip Show, I need to get my good friend John something he's always asked for, a Taylor Swift t-shirt. Custom made. Oh, for his daughter, actually. So I will go ahead and, reach out to @DripShowShop. And you can, too, to get your custom made canvas art, pillow, and more right there from our good friend @DripShowShop on Instagram and Twitter. Like the way I said, $50 t-shirts, John. $50 t-shirts.
$50 is
That's the world we live in, my friend.
That's a lot. Honestly, you know what's crazy? Last week, one of my friends were telling me about, like, he resells clothes, and he was telling me about these like super, I guess, fancy jeans. The brand is called Purple. I guess he's like these cool jeans. And he was like, yeah, they usually go for like $200-$300, but I'm selling them for $100. In my head, I'm thinking like, who in the world is paying $100 for some jeans? Like, I am never going to drop $100 for some jeans. It's kind of wild
You
to
would
me.
be surprised. Go to eBay. It may change your perspective on those. But yeah, I go to the UNLV game a couple weeks ago. $50 for a t-shirt. I go today to a Raiders game at Allegiant Stadium. $50 for a t-shirt. I take my kid to a concert or one of my kids to a concert. $50 for a t-shirt. You know what? If you're going to spend $50, buy 2 t-shirts. I don't know how much exactly they cost. Only Drip Show knows that. But I'm thinking right around there. From Drip Show. And it could be custom made. One of John on the front, right there for you to wear around the world. And one of me. There you go. Don't need any Joe Soro t-shirts now. Don't worry about that. But go ahead at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Also want to give a big shout out to Yaron Weitzman. Let me go ahead and scroll this up here. Hello, Gerald. He has a book that you Laker fans need to, and on top of a canvas art or a gift that was made by Drip Show in your stocking, put this in the other stocking. A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. I interviewed this author, Yaron Weitzman. It's on the channel. You can see it right after this show. Go right there. Check it out. Check why this is the book that the Lakers did not want you to read. They threatened legal action on him, and he
Really?
explains why. Right there for you, Yaron Weitzman. Right there for you. It is, again, the best-selling sports book that's out there right now, A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. Has pretty much a lot of the stuff going on inside but the Lakers. But yeah, go ahead and check that out indeed. Plus, also want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Joe Soro, the Experiment channel, Lakers Corner on Playback and YouTube as well. Go ahead and check out all these great. John has now he's got a full room of people I heard from himself as far as that on Playback. I'm sending them over to you because I can't handle them now.
Yes, Gerald, because you're so great and because you have so many people on yours, they're starting to come over to mine. So I appreciate you, Gerald. But it all started with Lakers Fast Break. So
yes, well, we're trying, man. We're trying. Joe said somebody banned RD23. Oh, I think I heard about that. Yes, let me see what I can do about that.
What's going on with that guy?
Yeah, well, no, I think it's Joe's nephew. I think that accidentally got, or relative or something like that, that did not, that accidentally got deleted, that got banned. I think it's because they're just, because they're related to Joe, because that automatically would be banned for a lot of people. So
that's crazy. Xbox, what are you talking about, brother? I want to be here with y'all, man. I just got the Lakers Corner Playback. You know what I'm saying? But Xbox, I'll be at Postgame. I'll be here at Postgame. Yeah. Xbox, come on, come through.
I know Zach was like, "Where's John? Where's John? Where's?" The dude's got a life, man. If he wants his own channel, more power to him. It's not like Playback pays you any money now. So
they don't pay me a dime.
Yeah, they got cheap on us. Yeah, so. Just
they
like the Lakers.
Yeah.
Just like the Lakers before Mark Walter, which you can read in the book. Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to figure it out. So while I go ahead and try and get that taken care of for Joe, do you want to go ahead and make sure that everybody goes ahead and checks us out by liking and subscribing today to John's channel, to my channel on YouTube? Please, it helps us out and really gets us going in there. But today, the Lakers on a great weekend, John, for LA sports. The Dodgers in what is probably going to go down as the greatest World Series of all time with a miraculous comeback. Nobody was really, outside of Laker Nick, nobody was giving the Dodgers a chance for 2 games in Toronto, and they pulled it off. They pulled off the miraculous victory. Absolutely a fantastic scene in Los Angeles celebrating, and the celebration continued into today with Mark Walter flying on the private jet from Toronto, landing at the Crypto.com arena. He landed there at the Crypto.com arena, John, to go ahead and check out Luka and the Lakers tonight. And I'll tell you this, John, what a performance today from Jake LaRavia on the offensive end. Absolutely helped the Lakers when they needed to, with Austin and Luka not having the greatest of shooting days today. Jake LaRavia picked up the slack coming off the bench. But for Luka, again, he didn't have the 45 points, but still 1 of 11 from 3, but still found a way to keep the Lakers offense still humming. 130 points from the Lakers offense today, John, and a 130-120 victory. Luka Doncic, 29 points, despite the 1 of 11 from 3, 11 rebounds, 10 assists for the triple-double. Austin Reaves chipped in with 26 and 11 assists himself. And again, Jake LaRavia, something we have stressed for months about, something from the bench, being able to go ahead and help us out. And again, getting anything off the bench is great. Your thoughts on today's game while I still try to figure out what's going on with Joe's RD23 issue.
Yes.
An outstanding game today by Jake LaRavia, and with Luka and with Luka and Austin both struggling from their shot in the first half, and Luka throughout the game from deep. Jake LaRavia came up strong today and really provided what we needed, a boost and scoring off the bench.
Indeed, he did. And before I even get into anything, I want to get into Riddell's comment. Riddell said, "Hey, John, going to apologize to Jake LaRavia. I think you heard him say the only reason he's on the team is because he's Austin's friend. Jake isn't that bad. He's a bargain at $6 million. So let me hop into this really quick before I get into the game. So Riddell, first of all, I appreciate you because I like when people, try to keep me on my toes. But I would argue and I would push back for you to check out my content first, though. Because if you check out my week 1 and week 2 recap, that's how I just dropped. I just dropped week 2 today and I dropped week 1 last week. It's been out for an entire week. I said that exact same thing. I said, look, Jake LaRavia, I didn't see the vision at first. I didn't see the vision until he had that week, where he played with so much confidence, putting the ball on the floor, shooting that first shot, facilitating, getting others involved, right? And before that week, before I seen it, all I was saying was I don't understand why he's on the team besides being Austin's friend. So yes, Jake. Yes, Riddell. You're right. That is something that I was harping on Jake. But as soon as he started showing me that flashes of confidence and showing me the flashes of being able to put the ball on the ground and being able to shoot off the dribble, being able to shoot, catch and shoot, I started to give him his credit. So hey, Riddell, I hear you, brother. But only pushback I would give is tune in a little bit because I did give Jake his credit. But as far as this game, though, let's continue. Let's continue to talk about Jake LaRavia, man. Come on, guys. Playing with an all-time high confidence. He's I really think back to be honest, that Timberwolves game, and I think it was the play when I mentioned this on the post game that game. He had a Euro step, Gerald. He was just coming through the lane, Euro step finish. I swear, Gerald, from that play forward, I have seen Jake LaRavia play with a different swagger, play with a different chip. Right, and the best way I can
Anthony Edwards from the bench was saying, "Who's number 12?"
That was hilarious. And the funny thing is, they better stop playing with Jake. They know Jake after that. And if Jake keeps playing like this, Gerald, his name will be known around the league as a solid off the bench scorer. Because look, coming into this team before we had seen him, go on this confidence run here. We were thinking like, all right, he's going to be more of a replacement for Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith wasn't putting up 25-point games like this. I mean, I know this is a small sample size, but he wasn't putting up.
Well, I will just say this because this should be his 4th year of the rookie season, John. His first 2 years in Memphis were disappointing. That they actually took away the 4th-year option from him. That's why he became a free agent in the first place.
Yeah,
he took notice of that last season, that they took away that option from him. And he decided, hey, if I don't start getting my act together, I need to start hooping or else it's over. So he did that in both Memphis and also as well Sacramento. Absolutely. He shot 40% from 3. So that really lit a fire under his butt, John.
Absolutely.
I wish I would like to see more from his defensive game because Triple J, with that running start, was constantly going at him. He would focus on him. All it would take is just some adjustments by JJ and say, hey, pick him up full court, so you take away that downhill action time and time again. But outside of that, from the offensive point of view, John, Jake LaRavia, you couldn't ask for anything more.
Absolutely. And real quick, young Lito's comment. No, I am not acting like he was a bum. But let's also be honest. Let's be real. He would never put up more than 11 points per game in his career prior to coming to the Lakers. So no, I'm not acting like he was a bum, but I wasn't like, oh wow, he's coming onto this team and gonna really take our game to the next level. But the way he has played after he has got this confidence boost, he has taken our team to the next level. He's given us a boost as far as bench scoring. He's given us another player that we can confidently give the ball to and say, you could you could put the ball on the ground, you can go make something happen. So nah, young Lito, not at all, brother. But I'm just keeping it real. There's a difference between me saying, oh, I already know this guy's coming onto the team. Like, for example, DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart, when they were coming onto the team, I knew for a fact, here we go. DeAndre Ayton tangibly brings something to the team. I see where it's going to fit. Marcus Smart tangibly brings something to the team. I see where it's going to fit. Have my question marks on Jake, and I think it's fair to have your question marks on Jake, on a man that hadn't scored more than 11 points per game, nor really proven himself in this league prior to coming to this team. But again, after the confidence boost that he's had, absolutely, I've been big on him. So come on, young Lito. If you're going to come, you got to come right. You got to come right.
I'll just say this, John. When it comes to Jake LaRavia, who would you rather have? Would you rather have DFS at 13 million a year, because that's around where he signed for with Houston, or would you have the combination of either Marcus Smart and LaRavia, or some combination of Marcus Smart, LaRavia, and DeAndre Ayton? Because that's DeAndre Ayton costs a little bit more, but still DeAndre Ayton plus LaRavia or Marcus Smart equals to about what you paid or Houston paid for DFS. So in essence, it worked itself out. I mean, DFS is a little bit better defender, man-on-man defender. I'm not going to give him a slight on that, but offensively is something that we need. When we get points off the bench, it makes things so much easier for Luka and LeBron, and also when he comes back, but also Austin as well, John.
I personally would rather go with kind of the setup that we kind of got here, as far as like we were able to not only add in depth but get younger. We got younger, and to Riddell's point earlier, at a bargain. So I personally would rather gone the Jake route. But again, all of this, I'm saying everybody has 20/20 vision in hindsight. Everybody has 20/20 vision in hindsight, because at first, letting go of Dorian Finney-Smith was definitely like, ooh, that one might hurt because of the defensive intensity that he brings, really kind of guarding on certain players 1 through 5 and certain nights 1 through 5, to be honest with you. But, in hindsight, everybody has 20/20. But I do see that.
Absolutely. Legend. You didn't know that? You didn't know that?
Gerald, I know a lot of things, but I didn't know that one. I'll be honest with you, Gerald. Okay. It's going to be real there. But I see Sean, the Magic Man, and my boy Legend in the building. How y'all doing?
Absolutely.
Pretty good,
Great
man.
to have them both here. All right. We'll start off with the good man indeed. It is, of course, the man behind I Got Next Sports Media. It is the legend himself. Legend. You get such great respect, my friend, from our chat. They know you're not a Lakers fan, yet they all welcome you when you come in. It's just great to see. Great to have you here. Want to ask your thoughts on tonight for the Lakers before we get into the rest of the NBA with you, my friend. Your thoughts on the Lakers, again, a 130-120 victory, first game of a back-to-back. Tonight, Miami, I think they're kicking themselves because they came in with a good record, came in with some momentum, held Luka to a 1 of 11 shooting from 3, yet they could just never really slow down the Lakers tonight defensively, Legend. Oh, by the way, hold on. For my 20/20 vision, I need to get some glasses on right here. Because, 20/20 in hindsight, always.
Well, they probably is kicking themselves a little bit because Luka's been on a tear the last several games. So, hey, you the first one to get him under 40. So, you probably thought, well, we got him under 40. Maybe we can steal this game. But it just didn't go that way. Right now, was looking to show up. Hey, Rob playing like he did good. That's something we're looking like right now because his moves are looking good right now. Jake LaRavia, who a lot of people probably ain't never heard of until this season. He's playing well right now. He's doing a really good job and look like an upgrade compared to DFS. Austin Reaves been on the tear. Aiden, I want him to rebound a little bit more. I feel like he should get a little bit more rebound than what he do. But overall, he's been doing pretty good too. But to me, the whole team has overall been doing really well. Like, you really had to give your props to what they have done so far. With people being in and out and all that, you really got to give these boys their props and give JJ Reddy his props as well. He's done a pretty good job doing his second year right now. You really got to applaud him for this thus far. I say keep at it. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do. You win the game that you're supposed to do.
I will say this, excellent legend, as always. I know that what happened to Andrew, 15-9 from him, which is fine. The problem is you're paying him $30 million a year. And I know that JSJ in the during the playback had talked about, man, we could really use Andrew Wiggins. We could use the type of player Andrew Wiggins is. No question about it. Someone who can give you something on both ends of the floor. But how much does he give you for what he is making and the fact he'll be making it for the next 2 seasons? That's what you have to put in perspective. Because if you get a player like that, you're saying goodbye to your salary cap for the summer of 2026, and you're just saying, okay, we'll reload in 27. I just don't know if he moves the needle enough for you for what he's making. And obviously we see there's games like tonight where he started off well, Wiggins did, but kind of faded over the course of time, gave it up to JJJ and Jaime Jaquez Jr. And just Jaime Jaquez Jr. took over once Triple J started to fade. There was really not enough from Miami to pick up the slack this evening. But also here today, good man indeed. He returns to us on here, but also did a great job and has been doing a great job on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Big shout out again to Div and Tuff for doing some great commentary in the second half. I was thinking of going on, but I'm like, these guys are doing fine. They don't need me. They don't need me. They just need me putting snarky comments in the right hand side, just like the rest of the chat always does along with me. It is, of course, the Magic Man Sean Grice, the madman from Toronto. He got out of Toronto to stop on by to watch the Lakers win 130-120. Sean, great to have you here. Your insight on the game again. First half, solid, especially high scoring. You said you were looking for almost 80 in that first half from the Lakers. Again, with Luka struggling from 3 and Austin, again, picked his spots on where he could be effective. And other times it was just kind of his shot wasn't exactly 100% on either. But Jake LaRavia coming off the bench tonight, that's exactly what I've been talking about for years, about having a productive bench that can score points and make people worry about what, not just the starters, but about who is coming off that bench. Magic, can't hear you, my friend. Got to stay with us, man. Stay with us. Just keep playing with it. So keep testing it, and I'll get you on with as soon as you. But yeah, interrupt me if you can. Just go ahead and keep testing that mic. Oh yeah, I heard it. I heard something. Go ahead. Oh, thought I heard something. Can you say anything? No.
Nope. Still not working.
So John, while Sean tests the mic out,
mm-hmm.
You know what? He's doing better than Vari because Vari broke his headset during the World Series. I will say this again, John. It's something I've asked for a long time. A bench production. And I know Bronny was out there. I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, he didn't hurt us. He didn't really help us, but he didn't hurt us. So he was just out there. Yeah, he got cardio. He got cardio, legend. So, yeah. So with that, though, LaRavia giving you a boost of scoring is exactly the kind of thing we need coming off that bench.
It is. And the crazy thing is, Gerald, I feel like one of the biggest problems with the Lakers is like we were worried about our bench prior to Jake LaRavia popping off like this. But now Jake popping off like this, that changes. I wouldn't say everything, but that changes a lot, because to know that you have a scorer like this off the bench who can at any point get busy like this, like that gives you a lot. That gives you a lot more confidence to be able to allow, Luka and AR to get rest, because I think that's essential, right? Is like, we know Luka, to be real with you guys, Luka and AR, they're so talented that they could actually do this every single night, but that's not sustainable basketball. That wouldn't sustain over over the long haul of things, over the long run. So to be able to have a player like Jake, Gerald, that gives me much more confidence in his bench. I'm gonna be honest. Didn't think that there was going to be many games this season where somebody off our bench is putting up 25 plus. And I mean, he almost had a double double. He finished with 8 rebounds. I'm gonna be honest with you. So it wasn't far from a double double.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to Austin Reaves, legend, again, the legend of Austin continues to grow. Tonight, 26-11. But I know Rodell in the comments talked about he needs to work on his catch and shoot threes. He started off the season pretty good from three. Now he's right around his career average of 36%. Again, just seems like he has a much better stroke, a much more confident stroke than what his statistics rely upon. But to see that he's now doing other things to get his points, to make his impact on the game, other than just living or dying off what he can shoot from three, even though he did shoot 14 times tonight, he's still like Luka. Even though they were 5 of 25 from three, they still found ways to help this team to victory tonight, legend.
You're right, Gerald. They found ways still to do it, and that's people like our youngest kid, who likes a lot of people never heard of. He done his thing tonight. He's done well, and to me, that's the biggest improvement I saw from Austin Reaves this off season. He got more added to his game now. He added more to it, and even when you have an off night shooting, it just doesn't show. It doesn't slow him down or anything. He's still going out here scoring in different ways, and that jump shot, it's gonna get better over time. It's gonna continue to improve as the season go on. You're gonna have your ups and downs throughout the season, but man, Gerald, I gotta ask you one question.
Of course.
I'm gonna ask you and John both. Did y'all see this coming with y'all Lakers squad, like coming into this season, or y'all a little bit surprised?
Well, you can see by our predictions that John had put up there, you put up there. I got to format it better because I put it on the page. I put it on the channel page as far as the notes is the latest one. I put our entire list of predictions. You see where we're at. Most of us put fourth, fifth, sixth, right? And it's still early. It's still early. It can go south or north at any given point. I just, again, Luka and Austin being able to score 30 plus a game on most nights is such a big advantage right now, legend. I saw Luka playing at this level. I did not see Austin playing at even a higher level, a much higher level than I anticipate. I'm assuming he was going to play good because a lot of money is on the line. But the way he played when Luka was out was an all-star level, which I'm hoping he'll get close to and keep maintaining going forward. If he can maintain this, that I think is the key for the rest of this season, legend. If he can be that third guy that is truly an all-star level type player. John?
And the thing is, Gerald, like I can actually see him playing at an all-star level. I don't think he'll eventually get that all-star nod, but I do think he can play at an all-star level. And the only reason I don't think he'd get the nod is because he's been playing next to Luka. The ball's going to be in Luka's hands 90% of the time. And then we know how tough the West competition
now
is.
they're doing that U.S. international thing. I don't know.
Man, honestly, I don't not like that. They need to go back to just the West and the East.
If he was in the Eastern Conference, he'll get in.
Oh, he'll get in for sure in the East. Yeah. I don't know.
You remind me of Scottie Pippen type of development right now. Not knowing if he's gonna be like that, but
I like
it's the way he's developing right now. It's the way it's going. It's how Scottie was.
I like that. And good point, real quick by Rodell mentioning. I think it was Rodell. Austin Reaves catch and shoot because he was 4 for 14 from the 3-point line tonight.
There you go. Absolutely. Again, very effective day for LaRavia tonight. Sean, have we got you now, my friend?
Can you hear me now, Gerald?
Yes, I can hear you now, just like the commercial. Absolutely.
Thank the good God spaghetti monster in the sky that everyone can hear me. And Streamlabs, I'm just going to say this. You haven't run any diagnostic testing, so you can't say that it's my problem because I was just on live, but no audio. So how is it that the camera is working, but the audio isn't? You guys want to blame me without doing any tests. I would say, Gerald, that they're suffering from Denial.
Okay. Yes. They're
Streamlabs.
suffering from something.
That was a crazy diss of Streamlabs.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
So
it was working months ago, Johnny, and now it's not
Yes.
working at all. So,
Hey.
I mean, is it my problem?
It's not your problem, Sean, at all, brother.
I don't think so either, brother. But we'll wait for the good people at Stream. And by the way, I'm calling them the good people at Streamlabs.
So, Magic Man, let's get back to the game, my friend. As far as your thoughts, I want to hear your insight. You were very complimentary of the Lakers' offense in the first half. They seem to sustain it, not the same level, but still at a very good level when you score 130 points. I know asking for 130 every time is going to be very difficult. Ask, like, for instance, tomorrow when they fly up to Portland and play it on back-to-back, I think getting 130 out of them tomorrow night is going to be really a tough ask. Your thoughts? If you're Portland, you must love it because the fact is you've seen the Lakers now on the second night of back-to-backs in 2 straight weeks. So you get a tired Lakers team in 2 straight weeks. So be that as it may, your thoughts on what the Lakers need to do maybe now that they've got more players to play against the Portland Trailblazers. Although Ayton's status is still kind of iffy with those back spasms.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Gerald, but Portland didn't see the Lakers with Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves.
No, they saw Austin Reaves. They saw Austin Reaves. Austin
They
gassed
didn't
out.
see Luka Doncic yet. So
Yeah,
they punked us in our building. Now it's time to return the favor. Let's punk them back in their building. I think that's due.
Great.
I think that's due, Gerald. And you know what, Gerald? We give up flowers here when it's necessary, and right now it's necessary. So Gerald, we've all 4 of us have done some form of resistance training at the gym. And when you do resistance training, there's something called muscle confusion. And that's the body's reaction to different physiological resistance training that builds muscle, builds better joint stability. And that's what we're seeing with this Lakers offense right now. I like that there's a mix of different things going on. What we're seeing a lot is when Austin has the ball, as an example, when Austin has the ball at the top of the key, Austin prefers screen and rolls or ghost screens to actual picks. It makes it easier for him to decide whether or not he's going to dribble drive or facilitate. Jaxson Hayes is adept at doing both. So when Austin asks Jaxson to come up, it's normally a screen and roll or a ghost screen. When Luka has the ball, Luka prefers straight up picks. He likes being able to see over the defender to be able to know whether he wants to step back and shoot or whether he wants a rotation. So LaRavia and Rui Hashimura are playing well off both those guys, Gerald. I actually think Rui prefers Luka's pick and rolls because Rui gets wide open threes. LaRavia is picking up the offense, but I'd like to see him motion quicker up at the top of the key or at the left or right hand side. So he's able to have that quick release. But they're both doing a great job of different sets. Plus, Luka likes to throw in a mix of ISO now and then, but I have to be complimentary here, Gerald. He's learning that it's better to have this motion offense than to be straight up ISO. And JJ is doing a great job of running an offense that confuses the defense. The Lakers are confusing defenses right now. Not from quarter to quarter, but there are spots where the defenses are having problems adjusting to either when Austin has the ball or when Luka has the ball and whether or not they're going to run a screen or a pick. I love that. And I have to be complimentary of JJ here and the coaching staff because they are doing a great job of scouting defenses right now. And Luka, like you said, Gerald, Austin is picking his spots, but I think he needs to be a little bit more assertive.
At times with Luka, like we saw in the last game, not necessarily this game, Magic, but I agree with you. Last game, he was delegating too much at times to Luka, and kind of just wasn't. He was just doing cardio at points in times where maybe he didn't. He needed to be more active in the offense times. I think that's still a work in progress. It looked better today between the both of them. They just didn't execute as well from deep as what you would like. 5 of 25 from three, but Legend. Again, when you're shooting 5 of 25 from three, you better have another source of offense to come into play on this. And they did with Jake LaRavia with 25 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals. Such a great thing as far as when you have a productive bench. Bronny didn't even kill us today, and he got extended time. Everyone, the best stat, he was +1.
I knew
Plus
y'all were
one
going to talk
today.
about that.
Yes!
I knew y'all were going to talk about that.
Yay! +1 for Bronny. All right. So that being said, all Bronny kidding aside, John, you're going to head on out?
Yeah, if that's cool. Yep.
All right. Well, let Legend finish because I want you to do your plug.
Yep,
before
go
we head
ahead.
on. Legend, your thoughts again. You follow teams in the Atlanta and Golden State especially with effective players coming off that bench, and as far as in the rotation that really, really help if Steph or Butler are not shooting or playing particularly well. Your thoughts on what it means to have a bench that does give you kind of lift you need when you're not having the greatest of games.
It's important, and it's a lot, like a big deal. When your bench shows up, you can actually still win games when your stars are having an off night. When your bench don't show up and your stars are struggling, you're gonna probably get ran off the court, and you might well go into the concession stand and sit there and watch because you're gonna probably lose. The bench does that much of a difference in a ball game. A bench, like a decent bench, can still win you ball games. An excellent bench will no doubt win you championships, but a decent bench can still win you games. If you at least have maybe 1 or 2 people off that bench can give you 10 points, hey, them 20 points together will help out a lot. It'll cover a lot of ground. So, I mean, you got to have a decent bench. The last few champions all won because of their bench. Oklahoma, bench. Boston, bench. The Nuggets, bench. It is going all the way down. You got to have a bench. And that's what these last few champions have showed. And shout out to Oklahoma. You won me about $500 last year. But that's what it takes. The bench. You got to have a good bench. Without a bench, you might well just go on and you're going to win a couple of games and lose a couple of games. Otherwise, or I my uncle liked to say when I played in basketball in high school, we was out here getting our butts blown out because our bench didn't show up. Now we're going and sit down, drink a bottle of water, and talk to the referee. I guess we finna lose either way. So that's how it is. You gotta have a good bench.
It's that old Eddie Curry eating lemon cakes on the bench. That's
you might as well ask the ref how you doing, man. How was your day? You're gonna lose.
Eddie Curry, shout out.
Lemon cakes are good, just not on a bench.
New Orleans
Soel went into ate a hot dog, went into the press room at halftime and ate a hot dog. There you go. Players get hungry, my friend. Players get hungry.
Yeah, no, I understand that, Gerald, but eating a hot dog,
a glizzy.
Hey.
Gerald, that's way too much fiber.
Apparently indeed by the end of game time for him. John, I know you're heading on out, my friend, but please give that cheap plug before you head on out.
Yes, y'all please do check out my content. No joker, I'm about to go hop and do my 3-minute game recap. Only reason why I hop kind of early is because I got to do the recap, I got to edit the recap, I got to post it. So it's a whole process.
Fancy schmancy now. Not like last season.
It's all exactly. Last year's I was just like posting it, but now I'm actually editing it. So that's why I'm about to get into that. If you guys do want to check out 3-minute game recaps and all my Lakers content, please do check out Lakers Corner on YouTube. On Instagram, check me out. It's Lakers_corner on TikTok, which Lakers Corner 24, and then on Twitter it's at the Lakers Corner. But check me out, you guys. Always just trying to drop great Lakers content. Appreciate you guys always letting me be here. Magic Man, great to see you, brother. Legend, great to see you as always. And Gerald, I appreciate you. And I will see you guys tomorrow at the post-game show tomorrow.
Hold on. Before you come back and before you leave, I've got this 2020 hindsight that's going to tell me next season you're going to improve it even more. The famous Joe Soro production values even more. So next season it's going to include AI imagery all around the place and 3D. So it's going to come at you. John's head will be sticking out of your television set and out of your phone right into your living room.
I'm working on that production value. I even got this little microphone I'm using now. So I'm trying to work on the production value, man. I'm trying to make these 3-minute
You sound
game.
like Joe. Sound like Joe. I'm working on the production value. It's coming any day now.
Thank you. Best League, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm trying to make these 3-minute game recaps as best as possible for someone who didn't have a chance to watch the game and want to get all caught up and not miss anything. So if that's you, check out Lakers Corner, man. I'm gonna get you guys updated. But I appreciate you guys. I'll see you boys tomorrow.
Always.
All right, John.
Later, John.
Here. There you go. John Costa, please go ahead and follow him today at Lakers Corner on YouTube and also as well on Playback at Lakers Corner as well, because we're both having full rooms on Playback. Great to see indeed. So let me bring it back to you, Sean. Once again, the Lakers do win 130-120. Again, this puts the Lakers now at 5-2 on the season. Really solid heading up into Portland tomorrow night on the second night of a back-to-back, Sean. Looking at the Western Conference right now, Oklahoma City starting out the season, you got to admit, without their second leading scorer, have done a great job. San Antonio with the very disappointing loss tonight. Really, although their games this season that I think they were going to lose, tonight was not going to be the one, but they lost Dylan Harper to an injury, I believe. And then when
Calf
Biyama
strain,
only
Gerald. Looks like a calf strain.
Oh, that's going to be out for weeks there. And also Wembanyama with 9 points as well, only from him, taking down his MVP chances. But the Lakers going in tomorrow, guess who's right behind the Lakers in the Western Conference, Sean? It's the Portland Trailblazers.
They won't be there for long.
Yeah, you know what, Gerald? I don't think Wemby's going to win the MVP this year, but he could get some votes, Gerald. He's going to get some votes. I think next year is more realistic for Wemby. But despite what the Suns did tonight, Gerald, Wemby's winning Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he might be averaging 5 blocks a game by the end of the year, the way this is unfolding. That's a different story, though. We see San Antonio down the road. We can talk more about them later. We need to get to 6 wins, Gerald. You get to 6 wins, all of a sudden you're up there with OKC and San Antonio, because I don't want to be looking up. I want everybody to look up at us. And it starts by stacking wins. And Gerald, the Lakers could start 4-0 on the road for the first time since 21-22, when they set a franchise record going 7-0 on the road. Do you think the Lakers can win 7 straight on the road this year, Gerald, given their schedule? You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Fair enough.
That's a hard ask. That's almost an unfair ask to them. If they do get it done, you know what? I'll be the first one to pat them on the back, because that's tough. But yeah, winning 7 straight on the road, that's hard for any team to do, much less the Lakers.
100%. I mean, we've done it before, so I figure we could do it again. I'm with you. The odds are stacked against us, but let's go for 4 in a row on the road to start the season, Trail. Because guess what? I'm sorry for the good people in Portland. As a Laker fan, I used to dread the Lakers heading into Portland, because you got to take the bus. There's only like two ways in to that arena, and they were just brutal. Those fans were just brutal. But it's a different environment now, Gerald, and the Rose Garden ain't what it used to be. So I think the Lakers should take full advantage of this, Gerald. I know Luka struggled tonight, and shout out to Div for pointing out that for whatever reason Luka struggles against the Heat. I think that has more to do with Eric Spoelstra's game plan than any 1 or 5 players out there on the court with the Heat. The Heat follow Spoelstra, so I credit Spo more than anybody, any other coach, for trying to neutralize Luka Doncic's effect on the game. That being said, Gerald, Tiago Splitter isn't in Eric Spoelstra's category. We're talking about elite versus a newbie. And it pissed me off to no end that his first win was against the Lakers. Well, I want to brutally beat the Portland Trail Blazers tomorrow night, Gerald. And I think the Lakers can do it. I understand the fatigue factor, but this is the NBA where you expect them to be professionals, and I don't expect the Lakers to go in like a lion on Sunday and go out like a lamb on Monday. Something tells me Luka's going to put up a 45 spot tomorrow.
We'll see what happens, and I hope that's the case because they'll surely need it because they will not be 100% when they get up there. Don't know the status of DeAndre Ayton's back spasms, if it'll be cleared up by tomorrow night's game. Plus, they're coming on the second night of a back-to-back. We've seen what happened last week when they played in the second game of a back-to-back and they gassed out in that second half. But they do have more people, more players, more bodies to be able to throw at Portland. So we'll see what happens. But Portland will be fresher going into the game, which doesn't make it the greatest atmosphere for the Lakers, but we'll be there to support them either which way at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And of course, the post game right here. Legend, let me bring it back to you. Your Golden State Warriors, though, after starting out the season really hot, have found, a little bit of a bump in the road for them. What's going on with them? I know Pods has been up and down. He's starting, then coming off the bench. They're doing already the mixing up of the starting lineup already, trying to find effective players around Jimmy and, of course, Steph. Your thoughts on what's exactly going on with Golden State right now? Because they're 4-3, still off to a decent start, but right now I think is a pivotal point early in the season for them.
Basically trying to get your bench players to step up because Steph didn't really have a world greatest night against. I know Giannis the other night. You had guys that's not stepping up the way you really need them to, and that's what really kind of hurting us in some spots. To me, the biggest thing I noticed is you can tell the old age kicking in some spots too. You can see it. You can definitely tell it when it happens. To me, the biggest part I would really start disappointed, you lost games that you probably should have won. You lost to a Giannis-less Bucks team. You should have won that. And the one that probably makes me the maddest a little bit is, you gave the Pacers their first win. You should have never done that. They should still be 0-6. You lost to a sorry.
As Sean has found out, yes.
I'm gonna say you lost to a sorry
reminded
team.
Of that.
You lost to a sorry team on that one.
Me and my big mouth, Legend. I had to say that out loud. I was hoping they would. I was rooting for them to go 0-10.
He was talking smack to Vari, aka Sports Baby. They're gonna go 10. They're gonna go 10. Nope. But I don't.
Well, they're not going to go 0-10, Gerald. But the Pelicans certainly will be.
They might,
or Brooklyn. So both those teams are still at a loss. I'm telling you, we should all be on Willie Green watch, Magic Man, and Legend, because it's coming any day now. Remember, the new regime that's in there. That's not their coach. He was the coach. And you, unless you win, you are a dead man walking. And I see Willie Green. His time is short. I think at this point, it's just a matter of when.
We got less than a month to go for Thanksgiving, Gerald. We were talking about this. Usually, someone goes before Thanksgiving.
Yep, I think it's him to start off with because Brooklyn Fernandez. I think they expected some of this, especially when you draft 5 rookies in the first round.
Gerald.
That's
Sean
really hard to get all those.
You would think that Sean Marks would prioritize giving Jordy Fernandez a point guard. He didn't draft 1 point guard.
Well, no, he drafted 4. He drafted 4. Are they good? That's the problem.
They're not point guards. They're not point guards. I'm sorry.
I will say though, I'm kind of happy the Pelicans doing it because they don't know. A lot of people in Atlanta are celebrating that y'all are tanking the way you're doing after what you did. So keep losing. Keep on losing.
Keep losing.
Hey, we're gonna get that number 1 pick for Atlanta again. Hey, do y'all thing. Keep losing.
Well, that might be good news for you, because the bad news is that Trae Young is injured and he'll be out weeks as they reevaluate him. How does that impact your team? He hasn't gotten off to the greatest start in the world, but Trae Young being injured right now, Legend, is not good for your Atlanta team.
It's definitely not right now. They haven't really been really that great right now, and it's really gonna show how well he can survive right now while he's out. But we're gonna see what they can do. Jalen Johnson had a pretty decent game today, but we're gonna see what they can do on their own. But you're really gonna have to live in. You're gonna need that bench to step up, and you're gonna everyone as a whole gonna have to step up. You're gonna all have to step up to get some wins right now, because definitely not the start that I was expecting, not the start I was looking for. But it's still early, and the biggest part I try to tell everybody when it comes to the NBA, it's something I learned maybe a year ago or so, is just because you start off 5 or 6-0, it don't mean your season's gonna be pretty. Everyone, because that beginning can be good, and December and January you start having the issues begin to flare up. So I always say hold the horses at the beginning of the season.
That's right. Legend is correct. This ain't the NFL. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. That's what the NBA is about. And I'll say this, Gerald. I saw the Hawks play in Toronto about a week and a half ago, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker did not look good. He did not shoot the ball well. Luke Kennard did not shoot the ball well. But I got to say, Gerald and Legend, I think they got the right coach for these guys. Quinn Snyder's going to figure things out, Gerald. He always has. He always will. I don't doubt his skills as an offensive mind. One of the best in the NBA. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Hell, Gerald, the Boston Celtics in their championship year started out 2020. It wasn't until the last 40 games that they started cooking with peanut oil and things started to turn around. That's all it takes is in the NBA. Just takes a little bit of time. That's all. So my friends in Atlanta, be patient. Be a little patient. Show a little patience here. All right.
That's what I'm saying. Atlanta go to state. It's good, man. Like, it's beginning of the season. Ain't gonna hit the panic button. It's too early. January, if you doing it, okay. All right, yeah, it's time to hit the panic button. So.
Well, Magic, I had said with Luka out that if they were to be a 500, I would think that would be a win before Luka came into place, and they have exceeded those expectations. So I'm very happy with where they're at right now. I know that we were going back and forth in the chat while you were away, as far as on playback, about JJ, because some of them didn't know or realize some of the comments, and some of them are heaping a ton of praise on JJ. And I think, again, when you're off to a good start, the coach does deserve a good portion of it. And so you have to go ahead and say, you know what, JJ is doing solid right now. What do you think he's learning from, as far as what he is able to go ahead and put onto the floor now that he's learning in his second year? A much more maturing process for him as a coach.
Gerald, I have to say, I think one of the key factors so far, unlike last year, was he's figured out what strengths he can use with his guys out there and how to put them in the best position to accentuate those strengths. Now, everyone's got flaws. We know this. But he's trying to put the guys in the best position. He knows how to have them succeed. Now, there's only so much you can do with Jared Vanderbilt out there when you ask him to sit on the baseline or sit in a corner there and shoot, Gerald, because that is an adventure. I mean, he's hit the rim the past couple games at least, but he's just trying to figure out where the best spots on the floor guys can succeed. That's a big difference. I thought last year he was trying to force a square peg into a round hole sometimes, especially with our personnel, given the different mix, especially when Luka came on board midstream and was injured. We did have that brief period where our defense shone out. But again, Gerald, this is the NBA. There are 29 other teams that watch film all the time. And by the way, when a team is watching play their opponent film, they're also watching the other team. So it's not as if you're watching film on one team. You're watching film on multiple teams and making notes. So I think one big difference I've seen so far, Gerald, is that JJ is anticipating what other teams, how they'll defend, and he's doing a good job of adjusting what I was talking about before, that set confusion. He's allowing his guys, particularly Austin and Luka right now, to play a little jazz out there and go with the flow rather than just piece together offense. Another key ingredient I feel that's different, Gerald, is that JJ's become much better at knowing when to use his timeouts and knowing when to save them. I thought, it was a bit of an adjustment last year with him. He would overuse timeouts early on, or he would blow his wad, as I've been known to say, and not have a couple in his back pocket for the fourth quarter. So I felt he's done a better job of having self-control, self-preservation, over knowing when to call a timeout and when to save them.
Oh, you on mute, Gerald?
I was going to say, sorry about that. At best, his defense, Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons has been brought up in the chat to our audio listeners out there. Ben Simmons has been thought of so well about his defense that he's currently a free agent.
He's
So
currently
yes. Tell me why is he a free agent? If his defense is so valuable, why is he a free agent at this point?
Because he can't shoot, Gerald.
Can't shoot.
Oh, I know that. I'm asking for, like you said earlier on playback. I'm asking rhetorically. I know the answer. He is not the player who you think he was some years back. Those back injuries sucked the life out of him. And I don't know if you'll ever get to the point where he's going to be a rotation player ever again in this league. I hope so. I certainly do. I hope so. But the Clippers didn't think well of him, so they let him walk, and nobody else had the inclination to pick him up. I mean, you could try him. I'm sure maybe somebody will at some point in time this season, is my guess. I mean, if they picked up Westbrook, they'll pick up, anybody at this point. But that's the case. I'm assuming he'll come back at some point in time. But right now, again, he is on the outs for a reason, they're best. And I'll just leave it at that.
He must be doing something else, Gerald. I think he found a new hobby because he hasn't played Call of Duty in a really long time.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. I mean, is he playing in Europe, or he's not playing in the G League that I saw? So I don't know what's going on with him. Serge says Ravioli and Smart have been huge for us. Yeah, absolutely. Ravioli is actually Jake LaRavia, as Serge calls him. But once again, the Lakers with the victory, 130-120. And we talked about this, Legend, coming into the season, that the bench was such a sore need for the Lakers as far as improving in any way, shape, or form, because they were the one of the worst benches in the NBA. So with that, gaining two players that could be productive off your bench in LaRavia and Smart is so helpful to the team going forward, whether or not you keep Smart in the starting lineup or whether you have him coming off the bench. But the kind of effort Smart gives you and the kind of effective play on the offensive end LaRavia gets you, it really, really goes without saying, Legend, what these guys could do for a bench that was really putrid last season.
They're doing a lot. Like, I give Smart them a lot of credit. They've been playing really well, and this is what the Lakers needed for years. Like, this is what you've been needing: a good, solid bench that you can actually rely on. For once, you can look at the bench and be like, "Man, I can actually put some of you guys in the game and not have to panic." It feels good to be able to say that, and that's something that JJ and them haven't had. I mean, that's why he did the 5 plays and didn't take nobody out, because he isn't nobody you can really trust to go to So it's good to finally have that. And got to give that kid credit. That kid looks really good. He's done really good so far, and could be a piece that is worth keeping. He's young. He can fit right along Luka timeline. It's a perfect fit. So I mean, them boys are doing their thing, and I had to give Rob Pelinka his credit. He done a pretty good job retooling this bench, and like you said, Joe, even Bronny James, he did his thing too. He got a good alley oop from Austin Reaves tonight, so looked like it died for a moment there.
For a moment.
Yeah,
there,
Gerald. Just to piggyback off what Legend was saying. I mean, yeah, you gotta give Pelinka credit. He knew how to stretch a dollar this offseason. He knew how to stretch it out.
He did. That we did. Again, they were buy low, potentially high ceiling options for the Lakers. And you know what? They're paying off right now, which is a great thing to see, Magic. I want to ask you this, though, Magic.
He basically went to the 7-Eleven with about $3 and came out with having not to take a penny drill. So so far so good.
So far so good indeed. But I want to mention two other players for you, Magic. Rui Hashimura, Jaxson Hayes. Rui, in the absence of all these guys, has been a steady force. Steady, 14, 15, 16. That seems to be where he's at. This is what we wanted him to do when everybody's healthy. 3 of 5 from 3 today. I mean, that's solid. But you're not getting more from him. And I know some people are upset with that. The Lakers are still winning, so it kind of hides those aspects out. But 15 and 6 for him today. And Jaxson Hayes, who, yes, people are remarking about him hitting a 3 today. He did work on that heavily over the summer because he wants to see if he can stay in the league as a possible future stretch 5 option. But 15 and 5 for him. I mean, we saw the good and bad with Jaxson Hayes. His awareness on defense is still, doesn't box out as much as you would like to see. His awareness gets caught off at times on the defensive end. But again, such a great lob threat. So good as far as his athleticism on the break, being an option where his speed can really get against other big guys. Your thoughts on both Rui and also as well Jaxson Hayes giving us 30 points that does not and should not go undervalued or underrated for tonight's game.
No, it shouldn't, Gerald. And everyone has the right to their opinion. I'll just say this. With in regards to Rui and his productivity, as you said, Gerald, he's been steady. We haven't seen the 30-point performance and then the 0-point performance, or the 13-point performance and then the 4-point, the 8-point, the 6, as we were accustomed to, Gerald. Because I think he's found a comfortability again within this offense. I want to stress this. When you run a fluid motion offense in the NBA, there are just going to be nights where you're not going to get the ball as much because somebody else has a hot hand. And you know what? If you're a good teammate, Gerald, you will find other ways to affect the game. You're going to box out. You're going to rebound. You're going to dive for loose balls. You're going to communicate better defensively. You're going to be a better help defender. There are a myriad of different ways to affect a basketball game other than being able to put the ball in the hole. Now, that's the object, but Rui's done a good job of affecting the game when he has the ball in his hands, Gerald. As for Jaxson Hayes is who he is at this point. That was a really nice 3-point shot, but I hope Laker Tom doesn't go nuts and decides to write an article tomorrow about how
he will.
Instead of Anthony Davis shooting 5 or 6 threes a game, now Jaxson Hayes should be shooting 5 or 6 threes a game. Look, if he shoots 2 or 3 a game and he makes one of them, Bene. That's good. That's the goose that laid the golden egg. His game is pick and roll, screen and roll, run hard, roll hard, and Luka and Austin Reaves are rewarding him for that, Gerald. You have to give them credit. Luka and Austin are trying to get both those guys going. And it's intentional. You could see the intentionality tonight behind Luka trying to get Rui going early. He hit those 2 early threes, Gerald, and Luka tried to get him in rhythm. You have to give these guys credit. They're doing their best to try be facilitators that don't need help, that are trying to get their guys going. So on that note, Gerald, when the shot isn't falling for Rui, he's still going to be able to affect the game in different ways. Jaxson Hayes is a little bit more limited than Rui is, given their positional strengths. But that being said, all Jaxson Hayes needs to do is roll hard and run hard, and he'll be rewarded.
Once again, the Lakers win 130 to 120. Just a great time indeed on a great weekend for LA sports. Again, the Lakers with the victory. Mark Walter from the sidelines watching his team. I can't believe I'm saying this now. His team with the victory after watching his team in Toronto the night before. Legend from someone who probably is not. I don't know if you're a Dodgers fan or not, but I want you to still put this in perspective if you can. You do cover the sports world so effectively for I Got Next Sports Media. Wanted to ask your thoughts on the World Series and your thoughts. I know, Sean, you said the city of Toronto is ailing right now. I put it to you like this. We had a great showing last night as far as on the post game for the Dodgers and what we did for the Lakers fast break. Toronto pitched better. Toronto hit better, but yet still couldn't get it done when they needed to. A lot had to go right for the Dodgers in order to do so. Is this, from what I saw in my years, it was definitely for me the best World Series I've ever seen. How is it from your perspective as someone who covers the sports world? How was the Dodgers victory? But just as a pure baseball fan or a baseball observer, how did you view the World Series this year?
I would say, being somebody who, I don't watch a lot of baseball, but I follow a little bit of the Atlanta Braves here and there. But I can definitely say that got to be one of the best World Series in a long time. Because this was like a back and forth from beginning to end throughout this whole series. And I can say everybody who went to the game got their money. You got your money completely well worth. This was definitely the best in a long time. And 2 great teams going at it. That game 7 yesterday was one nail biter. Like, if no matter whose side you was on, you was probably drenched in a bunch of sweat, probably looking at everyone in the room wondering, man, when is this game is going to end? Make you probably want to have a heart attack watching that game. But that's just how good it was from beginning to end. And shout out to Mark Walter. He got another ring with the Dodgers. Magic Johnson was there. I saw that. They got another ring.
That's his 16th, by the way. If you count
Yes.
all the teams that he is overseeing or partial owner of, what have you guys, 16 world championships are in his trophy case right now for Magic. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Not at all. Not too shabby at all. And I heard Mark Walton said the famous quote, "I'm not done yet." So I said, okay. He talking about the Lakers now, so he said he ain't done yet. I said, okay. So it looked like he's ready to do the same with the Lakers now, try to get them back on the roll of winning too now. I think Lakers got a bright future with him leading the way. They got a really good future.
I hope so as well, Legend, but we'll wait and see. I'm very optimistic, obviously coming off a back-to-back world champion for the Dodgers. But Sean, again, you are based in Toronto. I mean, they need to hold themselves high because they played their hearts out. And they hit substantially better. You look at the averages. I mean, I said it best on the air. I said, actually, I want to correct. They didn't hit 5 solo home runs, the Dodgers did, but I'll word this out differently this time. I'll correct my statement from last night. It seemed like the Blue Jays played baseball the way I'm used to seeing it. They hit for average, they hit contact, they got guys on base, and they got guys, in a lot of cases, they got guys in for the run. When they pitched, they relied a lot on the starters, but they got the kind of relief pitching at times to, in some games, really help them through, but they didn't burn through their bullpen as fast as the Dodgers did. out of necessity for the Dodgers. But it seemed like the Blue Jays were playing the way I was used to seeing growing up. The Dodgers, meanwhile, they threw anybody. They almost got anybody off the street that could help them on the bullpen. Coming out of the bullpen, they used They used 3 of their starters to come off for that Game 7. Just to stay in the series, they hit their masters of the solo home run. The analytics. It was clear Roberts was playing the analytics throughout, and his gut at times, because his gut told him, he said, to keep Rojas in there, and Rojas obviously paid off big time. But your thoughts on this? It just seemed like there was 2 diverging ways of approaching the game of baseball. One was more old-fashioned, one was new and updated, and in the end, the new and updated version won.
Mm-hmm. They did. Gerald, I've lived in this city since about 5 years, my whole life. And I have never seen this city as depressed as it was this morning before 1993, when another LA team knocked out a Toronto team in the playoffs, Gerald. Now, the LA Kings went on to play in the maybe everyone doesn't know, Gerald, I'm referring to obviously the incredible 93 series between the Toronto Maple Leafs and Gerald's formerly LA Kings that went to a Game 7. And in Game 7, the LA team won again. So Toronto just can't lick their wounds with the LA. I don't know what it is, Gerald. All I'm glad is that I parked my Ford Bronco in my garage along with my girlfriend's car after Rojas hit that home run, because I know the city very well, Gerald. And and you need to protect your possessions as much as possible when this city loses a big sports game. But it was an incredible series. Congratulations to the Dodgers. I have to say the same thing Legend did. I'm not a big baseball fan, but that Game 7 was probably the most incredible Game 7 I've ever seen, Gerald.
This whole series was the most incredible I've ever seen. But to the city of Toronto, I have with these words: a great team. It just appreciate the sportsmanship from your city, your community, your country, and the fact that you guys put Vesia's number, the Reaves put Vesia's number 51 on the sides of their hats to pay respect for him through the troubled time that he is going through, which you couldn't. This is the reason why I won't go into detail. Joe has said it already on the air what that is, why he couldn't be there. So much respect to them for the way they handle themselves. But you guys have Joe Carter. You'll always have Joe Carter, and you always will have that Joe Carter memory with you guys. So however bad that was last night, you guys will still have that memory shining bright of when Joe Carter won the series for you guys. So
hey, Gerald, the Montreal Canadiens won and we're in first place. So that I was happy. I was a happy man on Saturday.
There you go, indeed. Absolutely. Well, for me, the Golden Knights lost to Colorado, because Colorado and Utah, I think, are looking good in the Western Conference right now, ahead of the Golden Knights right now. We can talk hockey all we want now for hours, but I don't want to go ahead.
But Gerald, that's going to be a dogfight between Colorado, Edmonton, and Vegas. Only one team is going to come out of that group, but man, it's
watch
stacked
out for
in the
Utah.
West.
Funny how a change of scenery changes the outlook for a team. May that be the tone for the Oakland A's when they move here to Las Vegas? Who knows? All I know is that the Dodgers t-shirts are full price in this town, and the Athletic t-shirts are on clearance. I mentioned that the other day. I'm not kidding, guys. $25 for a t-shirt. I was yelling at you guys about a $50 t-shirt before Magic came on the air at Allegiant Stadium. But if you walk by any retail store, Dodger shirts are $25. The A shirts are on clearance at $5. I am not kidding. when I say this, and I'll just leave it at that. But
Is
Magic,
it good material, Gerald?
it's just regular T-shirt, just like this.
$5? Come on, people.
$5.
Yeah, come on, people. That's a great deal.
Because nobody wants it. Nobody wants the A's in this town. It's that simple. Although your Raiders, Sean, I went to today's game. Your Raiders, despite the fact that they lost, Geno Smith has a better time throwing to the other team than his own, unless his name is Brock Bowers. I will say this. We actually got, for the first time had been there, a substantial amount of Raiders fans in a almost full stadium. It was like 90% full, and it was mostly Raiders fans. So shout out Raiders fans right there. It wasn't overcrowded with the opposing team's fans like normal. So props to the Raiders, even though they lost in overtime, Sean. And man, sorry to see that, but it was a great game today. Nonetheless, anytime it goes overtime, it's exciting for NFL football.
Mendoza!
What can I say?
Fernando Mendoza, please. Please.
They had to. Well, Jaguars had to hit a 68-yard field goal, a new record field goal, in order for them to just even get the time. Remember, he hit that before the half, 68-yard field goal. So that was something that people have kind of like forgot about or didn't know about. Realized, that happened. Although it was indoor, so
Brock Bowers is it's the best tight end in football, Gerald. He missed a month of action. He caught 12 of his 13 targets, 3 touchdown receptions. By the way, that's more touchdown receptions in one game by Brock Bowers than the entire Raiders receiving corps has had in a month. So that should tell that should tell you, as Gerald said, that should tell you everything you need to know about Geno Smith.
Absolutely. And I'll just say, how long was Brock Bowers out? A month. And there you go. Jay says Bronny will be glued to the bench if he continues to pass up open shots and either dribbles into double teams or dribbles out. He has no confidence, and with good reason, Jay, because he just can't hit shots. And again, he didn't hurt the team any, Jay. He made good decisions. I'm going to give him credit. He made good decisions, gave out the basketball. Now, you're right. If he continues to pass and give up passes, they're just going to play off of him, so far off of him that they don't even need to worry about it. That's going to be a problem. I get you. But today, he made the right choices and didn't hurt the team. Because when he goes out there, everybody on playback groans. Oh, God, here comes Bronny. Oh, God, here comes Bronny. Because we have seen the Bronny experiment not work out so well for the Lakers so far. I consider today a win, Sean. We'll close the show with this. I consider today's game a win if you get Bronny to come in there. He's on the positive side as a +1. Didn't make any mistakes. Didn't do it wrong. Got 3 steals. Got you 2 points on that slam with the lob. Again, he came in there and did not have the Lakers take a step back. That's all you can ask for someone coming off the bench.
Gerald, it's a definitive improvement. Despite the criticism here, he showed improvement tonight. He didn't kill us. He didn't kill us. They gave him the keys to the car, and he didn't drive it into the ditch. Now, he's a little, as Gerald said earlier, he was a little bumpy. Maybe he doesn't know how to go from second to third yet, Gerald, but he didn't flood the clutch. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. You got the car home. Is the car okay? Yes. All right. We can live with that.
And Adam's right. He got to play in the fourth quarter in meaningful minutes. He didn't play in a time where it was just the dead time at the beginning of the second quarter or at the end of the third. He played when it mattered.
He's used to playing during dead time. Either we're up by 40 or down by 40. So Gerald and Jay are correct.
Absolutely, indeed. But Sean, it's been great to have you back on. Also looking forward to bringing back on as well John Costa and also as well Legend. They both said they're going to be on tomorrow night. Hopefully Sean can join us as well. Maybe we'll get everybody back together. Hopefully that'll be the case at some point in time. I don't know where Joe's at, guys. He may still be in Arizona. I don't know if he's traveling too far. He was in the chat at the very beginning, so I know that a lot of questions are going to be out there about where's Joe, but he might have still been in transit, so hopefully he'll get back to his area really safe indeed. It's so funny because I made the joke that Pachanga, because somebody wanted a 2-night stay in Pachanga during the course of the game at the Lakers game. I said, and then, hey, as a tapper, as a thing to top off your evening, you could have Joe join you for dinner, who lives in that area. So yeah, absolutely. Just like that. That could be part of the package. Joe Sorrell coming to be a part of your 2-day package at the Pachanga. No, you don't like that?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'd rather have dinner with a dead corpse. Have dinner conversation with Joe Sorrell.
Okay, and on that note, it is the Lakers. The Lakers winning 130 to 120. Great to have everyone here. Congratulations to the Dodgers again. I heard there's a parade on Monday for the Dodgers. I don't believe too many people got arrested. It was relatively safe in the streets of LA as far as the rioting or anything like that. There was not really that much, but it was people were excited, partying out there. So congratulations to them. And of course, congratulations to the Lakers. Now they're going to play Portland again, but this time in Portland, and we'll have it for you tomorrow night. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, and of course the post game as well. Thank you, Best. Thank you, Ash. Everybody else as well. Search, Mod, Champion of the World, Xbox, Vari, aka Sports Baby, running the channels for both of us on Playback. Jay, Adam, great to have you guys here. Best League. Again, just truly great to have everyone here. Great to have you a part of what we're doing. Thank you again for the big, turnout on the fly last night for the Dodgers. And thank you for the turnout tonight to see the post game for us on a day where the Lakers have won 130 to 120. They're now 5-2 on the season. Great to see. Looking forward. We can go 6-2 tomorrow. We'll find out. But for Manchi Man Sean Grice, it's me, Gerald Glassford. Once again, support Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. And follow us and like us and support us whenever you can right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.